Welcome back to part 3 of the 14-in-1 Spring Easter Wreath live crochet along. Today's focus is all about the flowers. I am so excited about that. I know most of you guys are excited about that because I have gotten an influx of comments. Super duper excited about all of these different types of flowers. So let's go through all the different patterns so we know exactly what we have covered already. In case you missed it, you can always go back. It's in the pattern. All the written patterns are now available, all 14 of them. And we also have all the video links available to you. So this is the entire wreath the way I assembled it. It is a customization that you can do however you like. You can arrange the pieces however you wish to do so. You do not have to crochet all 14 of them. You can crochet less of them, even less of each piece of them. Okay, so this is my version. Let's go through all the different parts that you have available. So, we do want to point this one out as well. You have a chance to win some prizes. Let's talk about that first because I know you guys love prizes. Okay, we have 14 winners at the very end, which tomorrow will be announced. So the very first 3 are coming from the live crochet along sign up list. So if you sign up, you're automatically qualified for this specific part. I'm pulling 3 winners from that section who signed up for this live crochet along. Here's the link up there. It's free. All you need to do is add your name and email address and you're good to go. I'm going to pop the link into the comments, even though it's already in the description and pinned on YouTube, but I do want to put it in there just in case you can't find it. So 3 winners will be pulled for that. Then we have 3 winners from the videos that for those who comment and answer the question at the very end of the live video. So you have to stay until the end so you can hear that question. I'm going to pull winners from those questions that I have mentioned at the end of these videos. So that's where I'm pulling the winners from, okay? Then we have 3 that finished the live crochet along, however you wish to finish it, okay? You can have less pieces, you can have more pieces, you can customize it however you wish. So you have 3 winners from that. You have to post it by tomorrow with this hashtag up here into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki by 10 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, March 31st, 2025. Okay. And the announcement right here will be at 12 o'clock tomorrow Pacific time for the big party. Anyways, and the last chance to win prizes is actually to show up at the party because we're going to have a few questions there live so you can answer them instantly, which means everyone is invited, even if you were not part of this live crochet along or only did part of it. So yes, everyone is invited. Invite all your crochet besties to join us. Let's talk about all the different pieces within the live crochet along. So we have the wreath, which you can make as big or small as you wish. Then we have the eggs. They're a part of a previous live crochet along. So you already had the video available for that. The same is true for the baby chicks, both of them, as well as the open egg. So you already had those available as well. Then in part 1, we did this adorable, cute little bunny. So that was the focus for part 1 because it's a bigger piece. So we focused the entire video on the bunny with all the different pieces and how to assemble it. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And then yesterday for part 2, we did the carrot, the tiny basket. We did the bees. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And we did the beehive. So that's what we have finished so far. Today, we're going to focus on the tulips. We're going to do that one first. Then we're going to do the daffodils. So we're going to do one version of that. Of course, you can make different color variations. The same is true for the violas. Okay, so violas have 2 bumps up there. If you are calling them pansies, you need to make sure you're not splitting this up. Do you see how that bump up there is split? So you can see 5 pieces. A pansy has 4 pieces. Okay, so be aware of that. It may look even slightly different on the bottom as well. So mine is a viola, just that you guys know. And then we have, of course, the petunias. So we're going to focus on all of those today, and they're going to be very quickly made. I am so excited. By the way, have you hit the like button yet? Did you comment yet? And did you share it with your crochet besties? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. All right, are you guys ready? Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to swoop around and press my button. There we go. So we can get started. We're going to start with the tulip, okay? So I'm using here, what is this? Premier anti-pilling yarn, and this is the color Berry. That's what I'm starting out with, okay? So we're starting with the color Berry. Let's get right into the tulips. You're going to have to make 6 pieces of the petals. So obviously I have a few of them ready already. So ready already. That was fun. Anyways, let's make the 6th one because I have 5 of them ready. So we're going to start with a chain of 5. And then we're going to go into the back bump of your chain. Let me zoom in just a tad more. I feel like that might be helpful for you. So that way you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so chain of 6, and then start from the second chain from the hook, go into the back bump because it's going to be easier when you go around it because we're going to go in rounds to make sure that you can go into the chain again. Okay, so we're going to start with 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets in a row. So 1 per stitch. So here we go. 1, then 2. We're all going in a back bump right there. Okay, the back bump of the chain. So this is the second, and this is the 3rd double crochet stitch. Then we're going to go into the last stitch right here, and we're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches. Okay, I'm going to get to your comment in just a second, Francis. I see it's a longer comment. I haven't read it yet, so give me a second. Let me just finish this round, and then I'll check it out. So we have 3 single crochets in the very last chain, and then we're going to go into the next 3. So now you can see we're kind of going back on that chain again. I don't know if you saw it, but I naturally turned it. So I was here first, and now I'm naturally turning. I'm not flipping, okay? I'm like turning in what is it, a horizontal space I'm turning, right? So, and I'm going back on that same chain. So we're going to go into the stitches. We already went into those chains, and we're going to crochet 3 double crochets in a row. So here would be 1. Ooh, my chain is a little bit long. Hang on a second. Let's make that loop a little bit smaller. There we go. So here's 1 double crochet. This one is the next double crochet. And yes, I'm weaving in my end here at the same time. And then here's the 3rd double crochet. And now we are going to do some single crochet stitches in the chain you already used. So right here, you used that chain already. Let me see if I can pull it a little bit. Do you see that? Here's your single crochet that went into that chain. We're going to go back into it, the exact same one, not in that turning chain that you see over here. It is this one right there we're going into. We're going to go into the same one as the first stitch, okay? And we're going to crochet 2 single crochets into it. So if you're now looking at your project, you're going to see there's 3 in the same stitch here and 3 in the same stitch over here, okay? So let's see. I see Frances saying something. She said she was dozing off yesterday. Oh no! That's a bummer. I hope you rewatched them. Pretty sure you did. I did see a comment again from you, but I understand sometimes medications do that. So anyways, Maxine is saying she messed up on the beehive and cut on 2 pieces instead of leaving a tail. Well, you can always add a new string on it if you need to. It's totally fine. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so we're now going into the next round for the petal, and you're now going to need some wire. So I'm using a 22 gauge wire like this, okay, and I cut it with my pliers. Do not use scissors for that. Don't do that. I know sometimes we're lazy to get up and it's like, I'll just use my scissors. You are going to ruin your scissors forever. There's no going back, okay? So now we're going to go around the wire, and we're going to pretend it's yarn that you're weaving in at the same time. It's going to go pretty much within the stitches. It's like, think of it, a stitch like a tunnel. It's going to go through it, right? So that that way it holds tight on it. So we're going into the next round, okay? And the next round is going to be 2 single crochets in the very first stitch. And I'm not going to use a stitch marker right here because wherever my wire started, that's going to be my first stitch anyway. So I do know where that is, okay? So we did 2 single crochets in the very first stitch of the second round, okay? And now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the following, which is that middle double crochet. We're going to put 2 single crochets into it, and you can see how the wire is literally within that stitch, right? So I'm just going to guide it with me. I know it can poke a little bit, but you've got this. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then you have those 3 single crochets that are all in the same stitch. All of those 3 single crochet stitches is going to get 2 single crochet stitches on top. So that means the next 3 stitches are going to have an increase on each, okay? So 2 single crochet stitches per stitch for those 3 stitches. So here we go. This is now the second one, and then here would be the third. And now we're going to work our way backwards pretty much, okay? So now we're going to go into the next one. We're going to crochet 1 single crochet stitch, and then the center of the double crochet stitches is again going to get 2 single crochet stitches. So make sure you're still going around the wire. You can bend it here a little bit if need be. Then the next stitch is going to have 1 single crochet stitch, and then we have 2 stitches left, and both of those stitches is going to get 2 single crochet stitches. So here we go. So here's 1. I'm going to bend this up a little bit, and the second one. And then on the very last stitch right here, we're going to go 1 in with this wire and 1 with this wire. So watch this. I'm going to go slow, okay? The very last stitch, you're going to go into this one. We're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches into this. This one goes around this wire. Watch. This one goes around this wire. And the last one of the 2 is going to go around this wire. So that way you're kind of putting them all together here in the same spot. The wires are in the same spot now. So here you can then make a slip stitch. Let me cut my yarn. You don't need much of it. You don't have to weave this in if you don't want to. Okay. And then you're going to pull this a little bit. And now we are done with the petal, okay? The one that I recommend probably snipping would be the yarn that you wove in here. Okay, so we're snipping that one. And you can do this for all the other ones as well, which I haven't done yet. So whichever one is the yarn that you wove in, you can snip those. The other one you can just let hang. In fact, I actually recommend you do, because it can hold tight when we are wrapping our floor tape later. Okay, so you're gonna need 6 of these pieces. And we're not going to assemble it just yet. We have to do the leaf first. Okay, so now we have here 6 pieces like so. We're going to put those to the side, let the yarn hang down. Okay, and now we're going to do the leaf. So 6 of those, and we're going to have 2 of these leaves. So one of us is already done. So let's do the second one. I'm using, again, this is all worsted yarn, by the way, and everything is a 4mm hook. Okay, this is Brava worsted yarn in the color Peapod. So let's do that. Yes, I literally went through all kinds of different brands for this pattern, because I went with the colors versus the colors as well as the weight instead of sticking with one yarn brand. Okay, how are we doing so far? Is everyone still on board? How's the petal? Do you guys feel like that was an easy thing to do? I feel like that's pretty easy, right? It goes really quickly, trust me. So let's get into the leaves, okay? We're going to start with a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By the way, if I'm looking over here, it's because my written pattern is on my left side. You do have the link up here. So the written instructions, you have a few different ways, right? You have the written instructions with ads that is not printable on my website via this link right there. There's an option to purchase the PDF if you wish to do so. Has no ads and it's printable, has everything included, videos, written instructions, pictures, everything. Or you join the Crochet Club, which also has access to everything ad-free and printable. Okay, so let's do this. Now let's do the leaf together. How are we doing so far? Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're still on track with me. So we're going to go into the back bump again as before, and we're going to start with single crochet stitches for the first round. Starting from the second chain from the hook, 1 single crochet stitch per stitch until you hit the last one. We're going to do the same as we did for the petal. Okay, so 1 single crochet per stitch, again into the back bump until you hit the very last one. In the last one, we're going to add 3 single crochet stitches. So far, I personally think this should be very clear and straightforward. Remember, I highly recommend you do not crochet right now. You're going to miss something. I highly recommend you watching and paying attention to what I'm saying and what I'm doing. So that way, if you have a question, you can ask it right here live, and I'm going to answer it immediately. This is the cool part about being here as a live crochet along. You can ask immediately and get an answer. So as I said, the very last one has 3 single crochets in it. Now, naturally, you see, I turned again. We're going on the back side of the chain now, and I'm going to weave this part in here at the same time. Make sure you're not going into that same chain again. We just did 3 of them in that. So this one would be the next one right here, okay? Weaving this in here at the same time. Again, 1 single crochet per stitch until you hit the very first chain you already used. We're going to go back into that same chain, and we're going to add 2 single crochet stitches again, just like we did for the petal. Okay, so let me do that. I'm going to go until the end right here. There should be 1 more stitch, then I have that the first chain. So here's that first chain. I already used it. Let me see if I can spread it a little bit. You can see it. This is my single crochet I made. This is the chain right here. I'm going to go back into it, and I'm going to crochet 2 single crochets into that same chain. So that way it's now even, right? The first chain has 3, and the last chain over here has 3 single crochet stitches. So it's even. It should be like an oval now. Okay, I'm going to snip this here already because it's going to bother me. I know that's going to bother me. There we go. So you're going to need a wire again. Okay, the wire, by the way, is roughly 10 inches. It could be a little less, a little bit more. It's okay. You can snip the rest of it. Okay, so you guys are all doing good so far. Yay! I'm so happy. Everything is easy peasy. I agree. All right, we're going to need the wire again. So we're going to weave it in, pretty much weave it, carried with us at the same time. All right, so let's do that. In the very first stitch right here, you're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches in the same stitch. Whoopsie. I lost my loop. Let's do that again. There we go. So there's 2 single crochet stitches in the first stitch. Now we're going to have 1 single crochet in the next. Then we have a half double crochet stitch like so. And then we have 3 double crochet stitches in a row. So 1 per stitch. Oops, that was a single. Let's do that again. Here's a double crochet stitch, another double crochet stitch, and a 3rd double crochet stitch. There we go. Now we're going to do a half double crochet stitch and a single crochet stitch. And at this point, you should be hitting those 3 single crochet stitches from that previous round right there. Okay. Is the wire necessary? For the assembly, yes. You're not going to be able to assemble it very neatly if you don't have it. You need some stability. You'll see in a second why. Trust me on this. I'm sure there's a way where you can do it slightly different without using a wire. You know, using another stick or something, but it's not going to be as sturdy. So I highly recommend using a wire. It is not, this is very affordable. These wires, they're just maybe $1 or $2. And it's absolutely worth it. Okay. So now let's go into those 3 single crochet stitches that we just made in the previous round. In each of them, you're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches. Okay. So Cheryl, is that okay with you? I hope you have some wire at home. Or if not, I'm pretty sure they have them at the dollar store, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure though. They always have some kind of gardening tools and stuff. So I'm sure they have some kind of wire there. It doesn't have to be a 24 gauge. It can be 24 gauge. There's different types of gauges. As long as it's a thin wire you can snip and bend, you should be fine. The gauge doesn't matter too much. Okay, so once I did my 2 single crochet stitches per stitch in those 3 stitches, we're going now over here. We're going backwards of what we just did on this other side. So that means 1 single crochet stitch, then a half double, then 3 double crochet stitches in a row, so 1 per stitch. So this is my second. Here's my third. Then again, a half double crochet stitch, a single, and then we have 2 stitches left right here. We're going to do the same thing as we did with the petal, okay? So we're going to go around this one, and we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches around this wire. And then this one we're going to split up again. We're going to use 1 time this wire and 1 time this wire. So watch. So I'm going around this wire here, okay, like so. And now I'm going to go around this wire for the last stitch. That way I'm putting those 2 wires together and they're in the same spot now. And I'm going to do a slip stitch here, and then I can snip my yarn and pull it out, and I'm good to go. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to zoom out now so we can assemble together. Okay, Rebecca said she got hers at a Dollar Tree. So there you go. They're very affordable, these wires. So I just zoomed out just slightly. Ignore the yarn here on the side behind my head. And let's assemble it, okay? So obviously some of my yarn is a little bit long, so I'm going to snip it so that way it's not going to bother me later. Okay, so you're going to need some floor tape. Again, these are extremely affordable at any craft store, possibly even dollar store. I got this on Amazon. It's in a materialist if you need it to be, okay? If you need to grab it, it's very affordable. I think it was, don't quote me, a few dollars for 3 of them, and I've been using the same one for lots of years, okay? They're really helpful. Okay, you could probably use yarn for this, but I highly recommend floor tape. So first you're going to grab 3 of your petals, and you're going to bend them slightly so it looks like a U shape, or a boat if you want to call it that way. So 3 of them are going to be bent like that, okay? So take 3 of them and bend them like a U shape, or boat, again, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just bending this in. So it looks like this, okay? Now you're going to take these and kind of like assemble them by pushing them into each other, okay? So I'm gonna grab this here and gonna go, hang on, gonna go around here. This is always the hardest part, to kind of assemble it, but it is worth it. Let's see, there. And kind of put them all together so they all kind of interlock with each other. So roughly about this, okay, roughly. So there we go, they're all kind of together. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take these other petals that you have and you're going to put them at the intersection. So right about here. Do you see now how the wire can actually help? Because it's holding it all in place. So I'm going to put this around this intersection. Then here, put this one around this intersection. It's like this. Hold it all in place, okay? Like so. And then there should be one more intersection on the other side, right here, okay? So you're gonna hold it all nicely in place. Don't worry, you can arrange this a little bit differently later and kind of bend it a little bit more. Mine is a little bit close. You can open it up too if you like. You're now gonna take your floor tape and you're going to start wrapping it around it. So hang on, I usually start here somewhere and add a little bit of extra first so it doesn't go anywhere. So here we go. So now I'm going to start wrapping tightly first here on the top. Okay, try to see if you can hide some of the wire as much as possible so you don't see it. So as I said, I'm just going to wrap it around it with the wire. It can cramp up your hand a little bit, so if you need to take breaks, that's fine. You know, that sometimes happens when you hold tight on the wire for a while. So I'm gonna go around here for a little bit because that way it makes this a little bit thicker and sturdier. So here we go. Let me see if should be still, no, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this a little bit more in the same spot. And now I'm gonna work my way down, okay? And you can see that the yarn kind of stays here in place in the center, and that's how it kind of holds everything in place. You see, you didn't have to weave in any yarn. No sewing on this one. I know some of you guys don't like sewing. Okay, so once you're a good amount of chunk down, you can start taking your very first leaf, kind of hold it here, and start wrapping it around it, the tape, and that holds that leaf in place. And once you went down just a hint more, you can add the other one on the other side. Literally, do you see how it's on the other side? And then you keep wrapping until the bottom. And that's where I start kind of bending things a little bit. So here, I'm going to stop here for a second. I see that some of my yarn is longer than my wire, so I'm going to snip it. Okay, and then sometimes what I like to do is take some of my wires that are a little bit longer and bend them up so they're all kind of about even. So you see that they're roughly about even. So, and I'm going to keep wrapping until the end, and then you go back up because you don't want anything hanging out there on the bottom. And sometimes I bend it like this and go around it. Hang on, see how to, if you have some yarn that's longer than the wire, this can happen. And then just snip it there without touching the wire, because you're going to mess up your scissors. Don't touch the wire, just the yarn. Here we go. There you go, snip that away and go around it with the wire. And then you go back up a little bit and then go back down because you don't want anything poking out. Here we go. There, that's nicely all covered up. And then I go back up just a tiny bit, just a little bit, and then you can rip this. This is, remember, this is like sticky, right? So your hands might be a little sticky after. There we go. And now you can arrange your leaves there a little bit, and you can bend your petals a little bit more, however you like them to be. And there you go. You have a cute little tulip. Isn't that pretty? I don't know why my colors are a little bit blue today. Let's see if I can make this a little bit better. It's a little bit blue today. I don't know why. Can you see it? It's a little bit blue. All right, let me see if I can make it a little less blue today. I don't know why it's so blue. All right, let me see. A little less blue. Is this working? There we go. It's a little less blue. There we go. There's our cute little tulip. I think it's easier to see on the side. See? There we go. Okay, we're done with the tulip. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, so the right side is bending the petals, Sandra's saying. Let me see if I can understand this correctly. The right side is on the bending the petals. Yes, I have the right side on the inside because you can bend it out if you wanted to. But you can also do it the opposite way. You can have the pretty side on the outside. Is that what you're asking? That's totally fine. You can have the pretty side on the outside. You can have the wrong side on the outside. I usually have the wrong side on the outside because, you know, when a petal opens, you see the pretty side. So that's usually what I do. The same is true for the leaves, right? The pretty side is typically pointing up, right? So that's how I have it set, like this, right? Where the pretty side is upward. So I hope this makes sense. It's really cute, very fast, and it makes a really quick gift too, by the way. Okay, so we're done with our tulip. So now let's get into the daffodil. How about that? We'll do the daffodil next. It's gonna look like this in the end. Now it's too bright. Let's make it a little less bright because we're using white now. Okay, I have some fuzz over here. Let's arrange that a little bit so it's gone. Okay, so let's get started with the daffodil. You can, am I pronouncing this right, by the way? So you're going to start with either white or light yellow. The inside part right here is kind of a darker yellow, okay? So if you are using another yellow, that needs to be a little lighter. So I'm going to start with the white, and I have part of the white already done, so that way it's not going to get too boring. Okay, so I have my pattern here, so let me arrange this so I have it in front of me. Okay, so let's go into the daffodil. We're going to start in the center with some white, any white worsted yarn pretty much, and we're going to start with a magic ring, and we're going to add 6 single crochets to the ring. Ignore that there's yarn everywhere. So here we go. This is a chain of 1, right? And that doesn't count as a stitch. And then we have 6 single crochets in the ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In case you're asking why I ask how to pronounce it, I am German, by the way. I was born and raised in Germany, but I've been in the US for a long time. I think it's almost 18 years, but sometimes I still mispronounce things. Okay, so then I'm going to use my stitch marker right here, and we're going to go into the next round, still in white, okay? We're going to go and do 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. So let's do that. 2 single crochet stitches per stitch, like so. All the way around. So you're going from 6 single crochet stitches to 12. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This is your chance to ask me some questions. I should be zooming in just a tad more, right? I'm going to do that right after this round, so that way you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I want to make sure I have 12. This is 2 stitches. Here we go. There's 1 more stitch that I need to cover. There we go. Okay, it's going to look like this. Let me zoom in. Whee! Okay, so we're going to go in the next round. And we're now going to go into the back loop only. Back loop only, okay? We need the front loop later. So we're going into back loop only for the next round. In the very first stitch, you're going to go, as I said, only back loop. So we're going to go in, make a single crochet stitch. I'll let you know when we're going to the next stitch. We're staying in the same stitch for now. 1 single crochet stitch, then 1 double crochet stitch, still in the same stitch, okay? Then 1 triple crochet stitch, so 2 yarn wraps, okay? So that's a triple crochet stitch. And now a double treble, which means 3 wraps. See that? 3 wraps. And let's do that. So work that one up. And now you're going to make a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Go into the very first chain that you made and make a slip stitch. So it's like a picot stitch, right? And now we're going to work our way backwards what we just did, but in the next stitch. So let's do that again. So 1 double treble, so 3 wraps here in that next stitch, still back loop only. Okay, like so. Then a triple crochet stitch, so 2 yarn wraps. Then a double crochet stitch, still in the same stitch right here. And a single crochet stitch. There we go. So let me show you. So you went into 2 stitches down here, but you added a bunch of stitches into it, okay? So a single, a double, a treble, a double treble, then the picot stitch, all in that same back loop. Now you went into the next back loop and you did a double, treble, treble, double, and single all in the same stitch. So there should be 4 stitches per stitch, okay? So Cheryl says she was also born in Germany. No way! That's awesome! Where were you born? Which city, if I may ask? If it's a tiny city or a tiny town, just let me know what's close by. Maybe I can figure it out where you were. Okay, so let's do this one more time because I have the full set ready to go. I'll show you one more time. So in the next stitch, we're going to add 4 stitches into it. 1 single, they're all in the back loop. 1 single, 1 double, 1 treble, and then 1 double treble, so 3 yarn wraps, like so. And then the picot stitch, so chain of 3, and go into the first chain made and make a slip stitch. And now we work our way backwards as we just did, but then the next stitch. So 1 double treble, like so. 1 treble, then 1 double, and a single. Now you're going to do this all the way around, and I'm going to do some magic right now. Magic, magic, magic. Ta-da! This is how it's going to look like. Okay? So you're going to do this all the way around until you have 6 little petals. Let me make it a tiny bit darker. There we go. So you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Let's see. Hi, Barbara. I just got time to join. I'm so glad you're here. I've not worked on anything. That's okay. It happens. When you're in a hospital or something, it's okay. You have another procedure tomorrow. Oh, no. I hope you're going to feel better soon. Hopefully, because we're going to miss you tomorrow. Darn it. But she said, oh, she's going to come to the party. Yay. I'm so happy. Okay. So let's see. Karen's grandma was born in Germany. Yes. Let's go. Okay. I got that now, Cheryl. Where were you? In Heidelberg? Heidelberg is usually very popular, or Berlin. There are a few other, no, not Heidelberg, Karlsruhe. There's usually there. There's a bunch of Americans over there. Okay, so this is the outside now of the daffodil. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take the yellow. Let's see here. Where's my beginning of my yellow? Got to make sure it's the right side. Okay, so let's take the yellow now, the darker yellow. There should be 2 yellows that you hopefully have if you're making the daffodils in a few different colors. Okay, and you're going to make a slip knot. I'm going to attach your yarn. Okay, and now we're going to go around the front loops that you left over. See, you had some front loops left over. We're going to go around right now. Okay, so it's very important. Did you say Munich? Oh, I missed it. Munich. Yes, that's another station. America has a lot of stations in Germany. Okay, so we're going to go around it. However you want to go around is up to you. I typically go and around it like this. So the outside is literally on the outside, but you can also do it the other way around. It's up to you. So let me do this. So I'm going to start right here at this spot. Wherever you want to start, it doesn't matter. I'm going to start right here. So we're now going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, like so. You can weave this in here at the same time. I'm actually going to do that. You're going to skip the next stitch, and then you're going to crochet 2 single crochets in the following. So I'm going to do it slow so you can pay attention. Okay, so we're going to repeat this now, and we're also going to skip a stitch again. Okay, so skip the next one, then go into following. These are all the little front loops. Okay, so 1 single crochet in the following, skip 1, 2 single crochets after that, and then skip 1, and again 1 single crochet, skip 1, and 2 single crochet stitches, like so. You should end up with 9 stitches right there, because there's another skipped stitch right there. So I'm going to snip this over here so it doesn't bother me. Okay, now you're going to go in rounds. Okay, I'm just not going to add a stitch marker right now, but I will know where it is because there's a little gap right there. Okay, so we're now going to go in rounds, and we're going to crochet rounds 2 and 3. Let me make it a tiny bit brighter again because I'm using yellow. So there we go. And we're going to go just single crochet stitches. Okay, so there should be 9 per round. So 1 stitch per stitch for 2 rounds. Okay, you can count your stitches, so pretty much there should be 18 stitches in total that you're going to crochet right now in single crochet stitches. Okay, so this is round 1 done. Let's do the next round. This is round 3, just single crochet stitches. Okay, 1 stitch per stitch. Does anyone have any questions for me so far? Let me know. I'm here. If you have any questions whatsoever about any of these adorable, cute little flowers, you let me know. If there's any confusion, I'm happy to talk about it. Okay, now let's see, how far did I go? Oh yeah, this was actually my last stitch. Perfect. Okay, I did my 2 additional rounds of just single crochet stitches. So now in the last round, you're going to go and do 1 single crochet stitch, chain of 1, and you repeat that. 1 single crochet stitch, chain of 1. 1 single crochet stitch, chain of 1. 1 single crochet stitch, chain of 1. Do this all the way around. That creates a little bit of opening, okay, and it makes it kind of like an actual daffodil, right? Don't forget your chains of 1. Oh, I did that. Yes, I almost thought I didn't. And you do this all the way around. There should be 9 of them in total, right? So let's see. That was my last one. Yeah. So here I'm going to do my slip stitch. Obviously, you have to weave in your ends, which I am not doing right now. But it's going to look like this. Do you see how it's kind of opening up there and has a little bit of a zigzag all the way around? So there we go. This is how it's gonna look like. Here's the way how it looks like in the end. Okay, so it's like a little bit of a lip right there, right, for the daffodil part of it. So it comes out obviously, and this is how the daffodil looks like. Isn't that so cute? It's adorable. I love it. So here's a 2 different versions of it. This one obviously not woven in yet, but look, they look exactly the same. Okay, so let's go into the third flower. Let's make this one, not per se this color combination. I'm going to start first with the hardest part, which is this one back here. This is usually the hardest part, but that's kind of how the petunias, did I say petunia? Yeah, I hope I did. This is the petunia, okay, and it kind of has like a little bit of, how do I say that? Almost like a tunnel-like area, okay? So we're gonna do that part first. Okay, Mary has a question. Let's see. I was confused, but understanding what you were watching, watching you now. Okay, so now we cleared everything up, right? That was Cheryl. Mary says, do you join with a slip stitch? Are you talking about the very end? Yes, I just then weave it in after I'm done. So let me show you. Where's my little daffodil? Yes, I just make a little slip stitch here at the very end, and then I just weave it in. Okay, so that's what I do. Yes, at the very end. Okay, I think I answered you guys' questions so far. If there's any other questions, you guys let me know. Let's go into the petunia. Okay, you're gonna start. By the way, the petunia has not only 2 different colors, it also has a table, okay? So in the pattern, you will see a table of the flowers that I picked, the color combinations I picked. However you want to do your color combinations, up to you. In fact, I actually recommend you go on Google and type in petunias and see all the different types of color combinations. Okay, so you don't have to do the exact color combinations that I did, but I'm going to show you one of them. Okay, so let's start with, let's see, I'm going to look around here. Which ones do I want to do? Any of them would work, actually. So let's see. I'm going to do yellow again because yellow is easy to see. Let's see. Oh, you're asking about round 2 and 3. No problem. I did not. I know what you're asking now. Okay, for rounds 2 and 3 for the daffodil, I did not do a slip stitch. I did it after round 3, yes, but not round 2. Round 2, I kept going. So it was continuous rounds first, and at the very last stitch, after I was done with white, then I did a slip stitch. Yes, on that part. But in beforehand, between the rounds, I did not. Okay, so I hope that clears that up. Okay, so let's now do the petunia. I'm gonna do, how about I do, going back for, I'm gonna do yellow and white since I just did that. Might as well, I don't have that combination yet. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna start, do I have my pattern in front of me? Yes, I'm gonna start with a magic ring. And we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches into the ring. I always have a chain of 1 to hold everything in place for the magic ring. So even if I let go, my magic ring stays in place. Okay, it doesn't count as a stitch. So we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches into the ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm going to pull. Okay, close that up. And we're going to keep going, and we're going to crochet some more stitches, all in single crochet stitches. So that might be a little bit hard now because it's literally just going around. So there's no increase or anything. So we're going to go rounds. Let me check. Rounds 2 and 3 is just going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. So that's going to get a little tight. So bear with me and bear with yourself, okay, with your project. It's okay. Bend it out a little bit. You want the pretty side on the outside. Okay, or inside, it really doesn't matter, just pick one side. Pick one side, and you're going to do 1 stitch per stitch all the way around. Let me check that I did that. Yes, I just did 5, so let's do another round. Okay, so let's see, here's my next stitch. Again, this is round 3 now, and it's 1 stitch per stitch. There we go, 1 stitch per stitch all the way around. I'm going to double check right now which one is the actual outside on my other petunia. Okay, so you can do, yes, the outside is actually the wrong side. I had this feeling. So it's the other way around. So push it the other way around. So how it actually naturally goes. Okay, so you want the wrong side on the outside. So I just bend it around so that way we can continue in rounds, okay, and have the pretty side look up, okay? So here we go. I did my rounds. So this is how it looks like so far. This is the outside. This is the wrong side is on the outside, okay? So I'm going to move up my stitch marker and we're now going to continue on. So we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches per stitch now in that same color still. So I'm going to pick, as I said, we're using yellow here, but you can also pick a different color. So I'm going to do 2 stitches per stitch all the way around. So that means we're now going to 10 stitches, okay, after this round. So here, 2 stitches per stitch. You should count it at the end just to make sure, especially me because I'm talking at the same time. So I definitely need to make sure I'm counting. So here we go. Did I do the stitch? Yes. So here we go. And I should be able to leave one more. Yeah. So I'm going to count my stitches in the end. I want to make sure I have 10. Okay. So this is how it looks like so far. It's going to open up a little bit. So let's count. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay, I did it right. Okay, so you're not going to cut color A right now. This is called color A, okay? You are now going to transition into color B at the same time, okay? You're going to carry color A with you, and you're going to crochet with color B at the same time. Let's see. Tanya gives a great tip. She says, don't complete the close ring for smaller practices. Makes it easier to crochet in rounds. Yes, you don't have to close it all the way yet if you don't want to. Makes it easier. Yes, you're right. But you do make sure though, when you don't close it all the way, your stitches are still tight. I have noticed sometimes when I don't, the stitches get loose. So make sure it's still tight. Let's see. When I did the last, when I did the daffodil, I did the last chain 1 in the same stitch, not the last chain. Yeah, that works too. If that's what you want to do, that works. Okay, so let's go into the next round. So let me read it out loud so everyone knows what it says, and then we're going to do it together, okay? It says now in the pattern, don't cut color A. This happens to be yellow for this case. Carry it with you and use it for all the treble crochet stitches. So whatever the next round says, whenever you have a treble crochet stitch, you're going to use color A. The rest of the stitches are going to be done in color B, okay? So let's do that. So we're going to get our other color ready, okay? So I'm going to use white for that, just that I have a different color combination. So I'm going to have my slip knot ready, okay? My slip knot is ready. So the very first stitch, okay? Whoopsie daisy, I just made my daffodil fly. So the very first stitch happens to be a triple crochet stitch. So we're going to do that in that yellow. I'm going to keep my stitch marker in for now. I'll probably pull it out later because you really don't need it at this point. Okay, we're going to go in the next stitch. Again, continuous rounds. So we're going to do a triple crochet stitch in the very first stitch. Okay, so of course treble means 2 wraps. Okay, triple crochet stitch right here. You can do a chain or something to get up if you wanted to. That's fine. So right here, I'm going to stop though. Okay. Right here at the station, I'm going to stop. So that means you finished your treble almost. Do you see how it's almost done? You have 2 loops left on my hook. Here's where you do the color transition. Okay. When you have 2 loops left in that treble, that's when you're going to pick your other color and you're going to switch. Okay. You're just going to switch right here and pull. So, and then you're going to carry this with you. Now you're going to put a double crochet stitch in that same stitch, 2 of them actually, in that same stitch. Okay, so 1 and 2, and you're going to do a half double crochet stitch also in the next stitch. Okay, here's a half double crochet stitch like so. So this is how it looks like so far. Okay. By the way, you can also do this in non-continuous rounds if you wish, but then in that case, you have to kind of get up first. It's up to you, okay? So now, if you are going to get it up first, and you need to make some kind of, 3 stacked single crochet on top of it first. Do you want me to show you really quickly how to do that? I'm not that far yet, so I can show you. Would you like me to do that? I feel like it might be helpful. So I'm going to rip this out again just to show you how it looks like if you make a slip stitch first. That might be beneficial for some of you guys. Okay, so let me redo this part with a slip stitch first in case you feel like that looks prettier. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So if I do here a slip stitch, I'm just going to pull this back as an invisible slip stitch. Okay, like so. And let's redo this one. So pretend that, not pretend, you're actually doing it. So instead of starting with a treble crochet stitch, you're doing an equivalent of a treble crochet stitch. So that means a stacked single crochet, but that means 3 of them on top of each other. So here would be 1 single crochet, go into that loop that's closest to your yarn finger, make another single crochet on top, and then for this single crochet that you just did, go into it closest to the yarn finger, that loop right there, go in, yarn over, pull through. So at this stage you're stopping. You see it's 3 stacked single crochets on top of each other, but you're stopping right here, and that is where you do the color transition. So let me grab my yarn again, make a new slip knot because I pulled it out. And here's where you do the color transition at that very last stage. Okay, then you're going to pull, make sure everything nice and clean, and you're going to carry your yellow with you. In that same stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet stitches. So here's 1, here is the second one, and a double crochet stitch, like so. Okay, so this is how it looks like so far. So some of you guys might prefer this. I'm just going to stick with this version. Okay, so in the following stitch, you're going to crochet a, let's see, a half double crochet stitch in the following stitch and 2 double crochet stitches. So here we go, 1 and 2. At this stage though, you're going to stop, because if you're looking at the pattern, you see that the next stitch is a triple crochet stitch again. That's where you do the color transition. So during that last double crochet stitch, you're not going to change color. You're going to change colors, but not going to use white right now. So I'm going to pick up my yellow. Okay, put my white to the side so it's not going to bother me, and go through the last loop of the double crochet with yellow. Now I'm going to do my triple crochet stitch, carrying my white with me, because I'm going to pick it up again right after. So triple crochet stitch in the next stitch, like so. I'm going to do it slow so you can follow along. During the last yarn over pull through, you're going to switch colors again. Okay, during that last yarn over pull through. So I'm going to pick this up, put the yellow down, and bring the white up. Okay, now I'm going to do the next stitches again in white. So that means in that same stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochet stitches and a half double crochet stitch. Do you see it? It's going to start over now. Okay, so here's where the color transitions are. I'm going to snip some of this yarn that's bothering me, because otherwise this can get confusing for you both. I'm going to snip this down here. I usually would weave this in. I'm just going to snip it at this point so you don't see it hanging around. Okay, and I'm going to snip this one so it doesn't bother you guys while I'm doing this. So you know which yellow is which. Okay, so like this, right? So now we're going to go and repeat this pattern. So let's do it again. In the following stitch, it's going to be 1 half double and 2 double crochet stitches. Remember, during the last double, you're going to do the color transition. So here we go. Drop the white, pick up the yellow. You see how I hold tight with the white so nothing goes anywhere? Now let's do the triple crochet stitch in the following stitch right here. But during the last yarn of a pull through, switch back to the white. There we go. Now in that same stitch still, 2 double crochet stitches. So 1, 2, and a half double crochet stitch. Now let's repeat. Let's do this again. Okay? How we doing? How we doing? Are you liking this so far? It's not that hard. You just have to remember when to change colors, right? Okay. In the following, we're going to do a half double, 2 doubles, and during the second double, you're going to switch colors, right? During that last yarn over pull through. Loop. And we're going to do a triple crochet stitch again right here. And during the last yarn of a pull through, you're going to change colors right here. And we're going to do this again. 2 doubles in that same stitch, and a half double. And let's do it again. Ooh, hang on, my yarn is pulling. Come on, yarn. I'm pulling too. You pull, I pull. Guess who's gonna win? Me. I'm gonna win. I don't care if you're making a knot over here. I am going to win this race. I am going to win. Yeah, see, I won. You didn't have to resist. Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna do a half double. Okay, 2 double crochet stitches. And during the second double, we're going to color transition. Okay, so here we go. I'm holding the white, so it's not going anywhere. Yellow. And let's do our last yellow over here, okay? Oops, that is a treble crochet stitch. There we go. Treble. During the last yarn of a pull through, we're going to do the white. I'm going to carry the yellow still with me, so that way I don't have to do so much weaving. Okay, 2 doubles in that same stitch. And a half double, and then we should have only 3 stitches left right there. So half double and 2 double crochet stitches, and here we're going to just slip stitches after. I'm not gonna make it all super duper clean right now. I'm just showing you how to do it. I'm snipping this, and here what I would do, I'm just going to show you this one little part so that way you don't have to worry about it. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to take your yellow, excuse me, your white, and in order to make this clean transition, you're just going to go over here, okay, and you're going to pull this over, but from the back, so the yellow still stays here on the top, okay? Pull this over and then weave it in from the back through the whites, okay? So that way the yellow still stays right there. Do you see the color transition is still very pretty? I'm not going to weave it in all the way right now. I'm just going to do a little tiny bit right there. Okay, and then there's how it looks like. Isn't that so pretty? Here's the other version. Let me show you. Ta-da! There's many different types, okay? So I hope this helps a little bit. You see there's a little bit of dimension here in the back, which this is how petunias look like. They have like a little tunnel, okay? So you kind of want that tunnel. Obviously don't squish it, you know, leave the tunnel, leave it there so you can see it. All right, are you guys ready for one more flower? One more flower, let's do it. We're going to do this one right here. This is the viola. I know everyone's looking forward to it. Now, let me point one thing out. Some of you guys call these the pansies. Here is the difference. Do you see how mine goes in? I want you to look it up. Feel free to do it later. Don't do it now, otherwise you're missing something. But look it up later. Type in the difference between viola and pansy. There's some pictures out there. You're going to see it. The pansies are going to be one piece back here. Okay? Pansies have one piece. Do you see how mine is split? That's a viola. Mine is split. Pansy is not. So if you don't want that split, you can make it continuous. Then you have your pansy if you want it like that, okay? I believe this part looks also slightly different for the, just slightly different for the pansies, but just that you know, this is how I did it. I picked the viola because what did I do? I have no idea what they're all called, so I went on a gardening website and I typed in what are the most popular spring flowers, and one of them said viola, and I went with the picture of what a viola looks like, and I designed my crochet pattern around that. So that's what I went with. So you can fight me on it if you want. All right, that was the most confusing one for me. Are you talking about the viola or the petunia? Which one? The viola or the petunia? Okay, so Mary says she's super grateful for these videos. Yes, that makes me so happy. Okay, Patricia says she quit on the viola this morning. Girl, it's not that hard, I promise. Let me show you, okay? Let's do the exact same color combination that you see right here. Literally, let's just replicate it because I really love this combination. You're going to start with yellow. Let me pull my pattern up so I have it in front of me. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with yellow. Do you see there's a little yellow dot right there? So we're going to start with that one, okay? It's super easy. We're going to start with color A, in this case yellow, and we're going to make, let me look at my pattern, chain of 1 and 5 single crochets in the ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to do a slip stitch of some sort. It can be the invisible one, the regular one, it doesn't matter. You're not going to use the yellow again, so make some kind of slip stitch and cut your yarn. Snip, and you're done with round 1. Ta-da! Yeah, done. We have 5 little stitches right there. Okay, so let's go to round 2. Round 2, and this is the part where it's a little bit confusing, okay? Round 2 is this part right here. This is round 2, okay? I call this part round 3, even though it's in the same dimension, because the reason for it is because splits. They're not connected with each other. They literally separated, okay? Do you see that? They're separate. So we're going to do this part first. So call it station 2 if you want to call it that way, okay? This part. So let's grab this. I'm going to pick the same color so that way you guys can follow along. Okay, and let's do that. So the very first thing it says is a stacked single crochet, but 4 of them. Okay, so we're going to pick any stitch right here and we're going to go into it. So let's do that. We're going to do a stacked single crochet, but 4 of them. Remember I just showed you 3 of them? This would be 4. Okay, you can do 3 too if you wanted to, but I'm going to do 4. So here we go. We're going to do 1 single crochet stitch, go into the loop that's closest to your yarn finger, pull up a loop, single, go into that loop that's closest to the yarn finger of your just finished single, pull up a loop, single. Let's go into the last one we just did, pull up a loop, and single. So it looks like this, okay? It almost looks like a little I-cord if you want to call it that way, okay? So right here, we have that one done. This is 4 single crochet stacked on top of each other. Okay, now you're going to crochet 5 treble crochet, double treble crochet stitches. So that means 3 yarn over, 3 yarns, yarn loops. Okay, and we're going to place 5 of them in that same stitch. Okay, all in that same stitch. So right here. So this will be number 1. Then make 2 yarn, 3 yarn loops there, 3 yarn overs, and we're going to do 5 in total. So let's do, this is number 3 and number 4. Did I count correctly? Did I count correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And one more. 5 right here. Okay. So that's our 5th one. So we have our stacked and then the 5 of them right here. Okay. That looks really good so far. So now we're going to do a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. You could make 4 if you wanted to, but I feel like 3 is fine. And then you're going to do a slip stitch in that same stitch, like so. Okay, you have our very first little tiny petal done, like this. So this is our first one here, that one. Okay, so we're now going to do another one the exact same way on the next stitch, the exact same way. So we're going into next stitch. We're going to make a stacked single crochet, 4 of them on top of each other. So this will be 1. Here's the second one. Here's the 3rd. And here's the 4th one. See it? Like so. Now again, we're going to add our 5 double treble crochet stitches into that stitch. The same stitch, all in the same stitch. 5 of them. Okay, so you should have, if you want to call it that way, 6 little towers in the end. Okay, so how many did I just do? Hang on. 1, 2, 3. And this will be 4 and 5. Okay, 5th one done. Now, let's count again just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, then chain of 3 and a slip stitch in that same stitch. Okay, now you can cut your yarn. I'm going to make a slip knot back here. I'm not going to weave in my yarn right now. I'm just going to let it hang. Okay, and it's going to look like this. So this is done so far. Okay, this is how it looks like so far. Are we good so far? This should be very clear and straightforward so far, right? So much easier than chains. Yeah, so much better. I agree. I was confused last night with the written for this flower. Grateful for the video. Yes, this was a harder one to explain in the written instructions. I did add some notes to it, but I understand it can be confusing if you don't see it visually in front of you. So I'm glad you guys have the video. I was doing 4 different stacked single. Now I get it. Okay, yay, Patricia! I'm so glad this was helpful. Yay! Okay, yes, it's a 4 stacked single crochet stitch. Okay, so here and here. So do you see? This is how it looks like. It looks like a little Mickey right now. Okay, so now we're going to use the last 3 stitches of that round. So there should be 3 left over. So if you're looking at it, you see it. So I'm going to pull my yarn to the side so you can see it. There's one, and there's one. There's 3 stitches left over. We're going to use those now, okay? We're going to use the other colors. So here we used dark purple. So I'm just going to use dark purple, okay? I'm going to replicate the exact same one, okay? So, by the way, you don't have to use the exact same yarn as me. Again, there's many different color combinations that you can pick, okay? So we're now in what I call round 3, which is technically the second stage of round 2, right? I'm just going to call it round 3 because it has a different color and otherwise it's confusing. Calling it, I could have called it round 2A and 2B, but I felt like that was confusing, especially because I have different types of colors. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to go and let's follow the pattern. Now it says a 2 stacked single crochet. So that would be a regular one, right? That you know of. So that means 2 stacked single crochets on top of each other, like so. And now we're going to do 3 double crochets, all still in the same stitch. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Then it says chain of 2, 1 and 2. And we're doing a single crochet stitch, all in that same stitch, okay? It looks like this so far. I know this is a little bit hard to see. I'm going to make it just a tad bit brighter, just a teeny tiny tad. There we go, okay? So stacked single crochet stitch. I wrote down a 2 stacked single crochet, not 2 stacked single crochets, but I should I call it a stacked 2 single crochet stitch? I feel like that sounds a little weird. So it's like 2 stacked single crochet stitches on top of each other, right? So it's like the height of a double crochet stitch. Then we have 3 double crochets, then a chain of 2 and a single crochet. Okay, so far that should be very straightforward. Okay, now let's go into the next stitch. So out of the 3 that you see down here, the next one starts again with a stacked single crochet. So here's 1 and 2 stacked single crochets on top of each other, right? Now we're going to add 5 double crochets in that stitch. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this little petal is a little bit wider than the outside one, okay? So that's how it's kind of lifts its way up there a little bit, okay? And we are going to have a chain of 2 and a single crochet in that same stitch. There we go. Now we're going to go in the last stitch right here, and we're going to replicate what we did in the beginning. So again, a stacked single crochet stitch, 2 of them on top of each other, and 3 double crochet stitches in that same stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, then a chain of 2 and a single crochet stitch here on the bottom. Then you can make a slip knot and cut your yarn. So there we go. Literally cut it. Okay, so this is how it looks like so far. Ooh, I pulled my yarn here a little bit. Okay, so this is how we're looking so far. Are we good so far on this stage? Okay, we're going to go now into the last round, which is again super duper easy. And I'm going to pick white just like I have it right here. Okay, where's my beginning of my white? Remember, it was fighting with me earlier. See, I have like a whole situation here. Okay, let's see if it's still going to fight with me. Hopefully not. Oh, a little bit, it's still fighting. A little tiny bit, it's fighting. Oh, this is going to be fun. It's like, no, I don't want to fight. Look, I have a yarn mess. This is what happens when you're doing this live and you're pulling out yarn. It's going to do some kind of fun business. See, I have a little knot right here. I'm going to win this race. Don't worry. I'm going to win it. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to check your comments in just a second. I feel like I'm missing some of you guys, but my yarn was fighting with me. So got to fight back first. Gotta survive this. Okay, here we go. Let's check my comments here for a second. They're all so pretty. Could make a bouquet. I agree. I agree. Tanya is loving these videos. These flowers are much easier than the beehive. Is that right? The beehive is very easy. It just takes a little bit of time. I actually think the beehive is easier. Just it's a time consuming. Cheryl says the video is very helpful. I got confused last night. It's so glad it's not anymore. Petunia, whoopsie. Tanya says the petunia's mine since I was my nickname growing up with my pollen green. Really? That's so awesome. I love it. Regina says videos are fun because you get the personality of the designer, especially with live videos like this. Yes, Regina. I'm so glad you're loving it. That is... Oh, is that right? The comfort, passion, and hope. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I love how the way the colors work together. I agree. I agree. It looks really, really pretty. Oh, I should call it double stacked. Yes, that's a good idea. I should call it that way. That might be less confusing. I agree, Karen. That would be a good idea. I have to make sure that I have a definition somewhere, though. All right, let's go into last round. Last round, guys. Last round. Okay, last round is with the last color, and you're going to start on top of the same stitch that you started out with. So right here. Okay, so we're not starting over here. We're not turning. We're staying on the same plane. Okay, we're not turning. We're going to start right here on top of that stacked single crochet stitch that we started out with. Okay, and let's see. So we're going to start out with a stacked single crochet stitch. I wrote down 2 double crochet stitches because I wanted to repeat it a certain way. So we're going to start with a stacked single crochet stitch like so. You can cover your yarn here with you at the same time. And a double crochet again in the same stitch. So technically you have 2 double crochet stitches in the same stitch. This is too bright, Nikki. Make it darker. There we go. All right. Then we have a single crochet on top of the previous one. Oh, no, excuse me. Haha. Nikki, got to read it properly. Let's read it out loud what it says. It says 2 double crochet stitches per stitch until you reach the single crochet. So let's do that. Okay. So I did 2 here. And we're going to keep going. 2 double crochet stitches per stitch. 2 double crochet stitches per stitch until you hit the single crochet stitch. And I just lost my little loop. My nose is tickly. Okay, here we go. So 2 double crochet stitches per stitch until we hit the single, which is right there. Okay, and when you hit the single, you're going to put a single crochet on top. Like so. Okay, so you're kind of pulling that in. Now again, you're going to do this as a repeat. Okay, you're going to go all the way around. Ooh, don't split your yarn like I just did. And you're going to make 2. What is happening? Too many splitting of yarns. Let's do that again. Don't split. There we go. The yarn is fighting with me. Okay, 2 double crochet stitches per stitch on top of all the stitches besides the single crochet stitch. You're going to place a single on top of a single, and on top of all the other ones, you have 2 double crochet stitches. That's what you're doing. Very easy and straightforward. I had to write it out in a certain way so you didn't get confused. But of course, me talking at the same time, I just got myself confused. Haha, that happens sometimes. All right, here we go. Here's that single crochet again. Put a single crochet on top, and then again, we're going to place on top of all the stitches afterwards, we're going to place 2 double crochet stitches on top of all the stitches. And then we're done. Did I do 2? No, I did 1 of them here. Here we go, almost done. 2 doubles on top of all the doubles and the stacked single crochet stitches, and a single on top of a single. Okay, and you can finish it up here, back here, if you wanted to, with a single at the very end, or you can leave it out. Okay, since this is starting up high, I'm going to stop it right here, but you could make a single here at the very end. I'm going to stop it over here though, because that way it's even. Okay, and then all you have to do is weave in your ends, right? So you want this to kind of hang over the lighter purple in this case, right? Like so. you kind of hang it over. And then this is going to have like some dimension. You see that? Let me show you the version that's already woven in. And it looks like this, right? You have this one hanging on top. And then you can kind of bend here the single crochets inward, because that's kind of how the actual petunia the viola looks like. So you have that dimension. Do you see that? It looks like this, like 3-dimensional. Isn't that cool? Okay, here we go. Shelly says these flowers will make an awesome pen topper. Ooh, I agree. That would be a really pretty idea. This makes more sense when I see you doing it. Yes, that makes me happy. Love it. Yay. I'm so glad. Okay, so we just finished all of these different types of flowers. Where's my other viola, my other daffodil? Oh no, I missed. Oh no, it's right here. Never mind. I was screaming already. Here we go. We did all of these different flowers. Let me zoom out so you can see it a little bit prettier. All of these different flowers today. How pretty. We made the tulip first. Then we made the daffodil, and then we made the petunia. Apparently gives you hope, passion, all kinds of other fun stuff. And we did the viola right there, or if you want to call it pansy, you can, but just keep in mind that pansies, there's one piece in the back here, not two. Okay, how awesome is this? And now you can make a bunch of these in all kinds of different color combinations. So that way you're going to make the wreath hopefully similar the way I did. Okay, let me show you again. Here we go. So here are all my color combinations. Let me show you. So we have the petunia. These are the color combinations that I have done. Then we have the daffodil. You can see the 2 different yellow colors, right? The back here is a little bit lighter, and then the top one is darker. And then we have here the violas, all the different kind of color combinations. There's more. I just picked a few of them. Okay. And then of course you can see here the tulip. So we put all of this together into this piece. You can see I made a bunch of these, and you now have all the videos available for the entire 14-in-1 Spring Easter Wreath. Now it's time for you to finish it all up. Now you can make as many or as little as you want of each individual piece. You do not have to make all 14 of them. Make as many as you like of any of the pieces, okay? Arrange your wreath beautifully, or your piece in the end, whatever you want to use it with. Let us see it so that way you can qualify for the giveaway. We want to see you tomorrow at the big party, okay? I'm going to pop the link in to the comments here real quick, but you will see at the very end. You will also see it pop up. If you're watching the replay, I'm going to pop it up so you can just click it there. But I'm going to pop the link of the live tutorial, the live party tomorrow in the comments. So I just popped it in so that way you have it, okay? You can also hop over to my YouTube channel and click on streams or lives or something, and you will see it there too. So make sure you are save that link so that way you can come back to it. I will send you guys an email if you signed up for this wreath. For the live crochet along, I will send you a reminder tomorrow morning that the party is happening, okay? Come join us. We're going to talk all about how you can have more of me like this, more live tutorials like this, teaching you exactly what you want to be taught, getting more patterns, a lot more patterns, all ad-free and printer-friendly, with a lot of additional perks and all kinds of fun things and surprises and gifts and all kinds of fun things. And we, of course, are going to announce the 12 winners. 12 winners. So are you going to join the party? I want to know, because here's the thing. Remember I said in the very beginning you have to answer some questions? Yes, we have a question. Actually, I have 3 this time. Here are my 3 questions to qualify for this part of the giveaway. Okay, first of all, number 1, and put all of it in one comment, okay, whether it's the live comment or whether it's going to be the replay comment. I want to know. Number 1 question is, which one is your favorite of those 4 flowers that I just showed you? The tulip, the daffodil, the petunia, or the viola? Which one is your favorite? Number 2, will you join the party tomorrow? Let us know. Are you going to attend? I have some prizes to give away. Everyone is invited. So invite your crochet besties to join as well, okay? And number 3 is, will you finish your custom wreath by the deadline? Okay, remember, deadline, the custom finished piece, what does it need to look like? However you want it to be, with no yarn ends hanging out. So everything is woven in, and at some somewhat attached to a wreath, or however you want to assemble it. I know some of you guys don't have a wreath and you just want to assemble it as a little, I don't know, a little village, I guess, or a little garden or something. That's fine. If you want to do it like that, that's fine. Whatever is your finished piece of your live crochet along, we want to see it by the deadline with this hashtag right here. Deadline is March 31st, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, that's the deadline, because at the 12 o'clock is when the party goes live, and that's when we're announcing the winners. Okay, so we want to see it, and you don't have to make all 14. You make as many or as little as you like. Just have no yarns hanging out, and you qualify for the giveaway. Sounds good? Okay, I see some of you guys saying yes, yes, yes. Okay, so don't worry if you can't do some of it. Remember, if you show up for the party, you still have a chance to win. As I said before, everyone is invited to the party. Everyone. Okay, let me make this a tiny bit smaller so we can kind of show it off at the same time. There we go. Do you see how I wrote down here on the bottom that if you just show up for the party, we're going to have some questions right there, and then 3 winners will be announced right there and then. See, you can join the party even if you didn't finish the entire live crochet along. Even if you didn't crochet one tiny piece of it, you still have a chance to win something. Even if you just signed up, and if you commented, and if you showed up for the party, right? If you don't make any of the pieces, you just exclude this part right here, and you still have 9 chances to win something. That's a big deal, right? I sure hope that you're going to join us tomorrow. It's going to be so much fun. Please tell your crochet besties to join us, and I will see you guys here tomorrow. Same time, just different link. I just popped it in, and it's going to show up at the very end as well. Are you going to join us? I want to see you guys for the big party. We're going to have so much fun. All right, I'll see you guys all then, right? Until then, bye.